serious line between data that's available and data that is repurposed for things that maybe you don't want. And then what is the interpretation of what you don't want? It's going to advertisers, but at what degree? What volume of data? Is there
This episode is made possible by OIT VoIP. Find your best-in-class revenue generation for MSPs all over the world. Learn more via the link in the show notes.
Good morning, and welcome to the September 30th episode of MSP Dispatch, your source for news, community events, and commentary in the MSP channel. My name's Tony Francisco, and I'm going solo today, bringing you all the news by myself. That's right. Grab your margarita. We're doing this. Let's get into the news. Jumping on my first story, Mozilla hit with privacy complaint over Firefox user tracking, in a story from Reuters.com. The advocacy group NOYB has filed a complaint against Mozilla with the Austrian Data Protection Authority, accusing it of tracking user behavior on websites without consent. They claim that Mozilla's privacy preserving attribution, that's PPA, feature allows the Firefox browser to act as a tracking tool without informing users. Although Mozilla argues that PPA aims to enhance advertising practices while protecting user identity, NOYB believes that it still violates EU privacy laws. The group says Firefox should have this feature turned off by default and wants Mozilla to implement an opt-in system, inform users about data processing, and delete unlawfully processed data affecting millions of users. NOYB has previously filed numerous complaints against big tech, including one against Alphabet for allegedly tracking Chrome users. We know that data sovereignty is huge. We all want it. The problem is, A, who's going to enforce it? Is there a monetary value behind enforcing it other than the moral obligation that we all have? B, all of us want that data in some capacity. So we're all doing it or strive to do it, but we don't like it when it's done to us. Let's just be blunt about that. So now that we got the turds out on the table, this is where it gets fun. How do we draw a serious line between data that's available and data that is repurposed for things that maybe you don't want? And then what is the interpretation of what you don't want? It's going to advertisers, but at what degree? What volume of data? Is there a very clear communication on, well, it's name, social security number, address? The question is, what are we calling data that should not be shared, and what are we allowing to be shared? I don't know if that's really been drawn yet, but we have been very clear that data sovereignty is huge. I'm a big fan of Firefox, always have been. I am not certain how this is going to unfold with a group that is now suggesting that GDPR is a component. I don't know how that plays in the United States. Because GDPR is very specific to the removal of data or the retention of data, not so much the use of any type of data. The use of any type of data is the exact opposite of is not including the removal of it. So if the data that's being used is nebulous and then removed, technically that adheres to GDPR, unless it's personal information. That's the part I don't know. I'm interested to see how this moves forward, but I'm pretty certain some of you in the Discord server will have some input. I'd love to hear that. On to my next story, robot lawyer company faces a $193,000 fine as part of FTC's AI crackdown, in a story from TheVerge.com. Do Not Pay, known as the world's first robot lawyer, has reached a $193,000 US settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, that's FTC, as part of its crackdown on deceptive AI practices. The FTC claims that Do Not Pay misled customers by asserting that AI could replace human lawyers without providing adequate testing or legal expertise. The company allegedly promoted services like suing for assault without a lawyer that were ineffective. In addition to paying the fine, Do Not Pay must inform users about the limitation of its services. The FTC is also targeting other companies, including Ritter, that's RYTR, for misleading AI practices, emphasizing that no AI is exempt from existing laws protecting consumers. So we've talked quite a bit here on MMN about AI and the replacement of the human factor. The human element has moved into the computerized element. The other side of that is people only do business with other people. Or do they? A lot of us love the Amazonification of purchasing, the procurement process. I can do the managing all without a single contact of another human. Personally, I love that until I don't love it anymore. And I like to just call somebody and just say, hey, what am I doing wrong here? And that person can take over. That has been received by AI, and it was extraordinarily frustrating. In fact, I was on the phone or trying to get on the phone with Walmart, trying to open up a business account with Walmart. This is literally just yesterday. Couldn't reach anybody from Walmart just to open a business account because there was a problem with their tax form. That's where I did not like AI. In fact, everything was all automated in the AI. You type in a question, and it was natural large language model, pull up the answer, but they wouldn't allow me just to talk to another human. So that being said, the human element is going to be critical for a very, very long time until it isn't. So, to the audience out there, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that humans are always going to be involved? Do you think there's a natural evolutionary process where we slowly but surely decouple elements of the human involvement to handle the procurement, the operations, to handle the execution, the maintenance side of the things that we do day to day right now? And what does that evolutionary process look like, or the de-evolutionary process look like with human involvement? I'm really interested to hear that. You can actually find this conversation happening right now in our Discord server. If we only had a link for that Discord server, 3, 2, 1. All of these conversations are happening right now in our Discord server. So please, please, please get involved, get engaged with our Discord server, the MMN Discord. You can Google it. You can find links here in the video. In the meantime, another way to stay involved is to be at our community events. ScaleCon 2024 is an in-person event happening October 2nd to October 4th in Las Vegas. The Huntress Roadshow, another in-person event, October 3rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Newark, New Jersey. We have Deep Cyber Dive 2024, the MSP Revenue Blueprint, presented by Fin Security. That's a virtual event, October 8th through the 10th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And finally, the Channel Pro Live Dallas, where, yes, you guessed it, it's in Dallas, Texas. An in-person event, October 9th and 10th. But until then, everyone out there, please, please, please stay educated, stay safe, and more episodes coming soon.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.